What's up, y'all? My name is Christian. This is the Christian Winners Podcast, and I got a story to tell. My daughter had a track meet today, and she didn't do so good. This is a big year for her with scholarships, with college, and all these sort of things. And she had a rough day. And she cried. And I'm sitting there as a dad, and I'm like, all right, what do I do in this moment, right? So at the meet, my first inclination was to hug her. And then I said, no, I'm not going to hug her. And it wasn't because I didn't want to or didn't think it would be a good idea. I didn't hug her because I've learned her enough to know that in those moments, she just needs a moment. You see what I'm saying? In those moments, she needs a moment. And that was from me, like, I was happy today that I got to know her enough to know how to serve her, right? I knew her enough to know how to serve her. So it was like, okay, I know not to hug her now. We were probably 2 hours away from home. And so just driving, listening to music. She was in the back just, by herself, riding. And let it go the whole time. Stopped her and got her a little food. And when we got back, we sat in the car and I said, baby girl, I know this was a tough day, but she said, Dad, I don't want to talk about it. I said, no, we're not going to talk about today. We're going to talk about what's next. See, when I tell y'all my stories, man, it's a story and it's a lesson. A story plus wisdom, because all of us have a story and all of us have gotten wisdom from it or learned wisdom or need to learn wisdom, some type of wisdom. And I think this podcast, I guess, would just be for dads trying to figure out their kids. So let me take this number one. The first thing we got to do as fathers is we have to pay more attention, not to just whether our kids' financial, those needs are met, but do we know them as dads? Do we know them? Because as fathers, again, we get so caught up in making sure they have what they need that sometimes we're not present for the other needs, those inward social, emotional needs our children have. And we kind of just leave that to their mothers in some situations. And what I'm saying is, I think that they need their father in those tough moments. Not just a hug or nurturing of a mother. That's good. That's why parents need to work together, whether they're together or whether they're divorced or separated, whatever it is. You got to work together when it comes to your kids, because the mother can't give the kid all they need. Right? Nor can we give a kid all they need. We can give them the best we have, but we're made different for a reason. And we're made different because our kids need a package, right? And so what she needed from me today was, she needed nurturing, but she needed instruction. And see, that's what dads are for. That's what we for, y'all. We what I gave her today, and this term is just hitting my head. I gave her nurturing instruction. So it wasn't, just get up, lift your chin up, do better. Because as a dad, that's all I knew. That's all I would have known to give her if I didn't study her. See what I'm saying? Now her twin, she's more of a roughneck. So if she having a bad one, I can give her that tough love and stand her back up. But that's from me knowing her. So if anything you get out of this, get really, really lock in with knowing your kids, knowing what makes them sad, knowing what makes them happy, knowing their points of recovery, like how to recover them when they're going through something tough. Like, how do I get to them? And I'm gonna say this, guys, as single men, right? And some of us are single dads or whatever the situation is. But the point I'm making is, when we were dating, you did everything you needed to do to get to know that girl, right? You did everything you needed to do to get to know that girl because you wanted her. You pursued her. You wanted to date her, you wanted to marry her, you wanted to be her man, be her husband, whatever it was. You wanted to be with her, so you learned her. You learned what made her happy, learned what made her sad. You learned her. And this is the question I always challenge us with as dads. Imagine us putting in the same effort to know our daughters, right? That we did into trying to date some woman in our lives. Imagine if we put the effort into knowing what puts the perfect smile on our daughter's face. What, you know what I mean? How to make her happy when she's sad, or what kind of communication. I'm talking about the details of your daughter and how she operates. Because this is the thing, y'all. It's our job to pursue them with that type of passion and love, so they can know what love means, or what love looks like. And what love looks like is a man, from a love from a man to a woman, is to passionately not just pursue her, but pursue who she is. When you really love a woman, you pursue who she is. Not just what she has, but who she is. And our daughters are the girls in our life that experience love without having to exchange anything. So that's why it's so important too. Now, if we go out there and we're pursuing crazy love and loving them and learning them and putting our mind into their thoughts and their feelings and how they operate and this and that, you know what would happen? They would know what love looks like without having to give anything away to get it. What does that say? Well, will they have to give something away in some relationship? Right? At some point, they're going to have to get their love, whatever it is. But what I'm saying is, all daughters need to experience the love that has no exchange attached to it. Because she's going to judge the love of a man. The only balance she has is the love that you gave her. It's the love that you gave her. Right? So gentlemen, what I'm ultimately this, whether you're in the marriage, whether you're divorced like I am, right? Whatever the situation is, don't let that stop you from being a heck of a dad. Don't let that stop you from being you know, we have these words, involved dad. No, more than involved. A dad who has put effort into knowing, getting to know. Do that, man. That's what our baby girls need from us. That's what they need the most, right? Our sons need it too, but I got a son too. He's 20. He'll be 21 this year. I'll do another podcast about father and son and some things that I had to learn being a dad with an older son, right? I don't want to get into that now. We'll do that in another podcast. In fact, I'll drop it this week. But it's some things I learned as he got older. Some things I at my initial fatherhood, big man dad made me feel like he was being disrespectful. But I learned, like, God really gave me a revelation. This kid's not disrespecting you by challenging thought or debating back and forth, and not debating with me disrespectfully. I'm talking about like debating with me about subjects, whether it's sports or whatever. Y'all tune in this week. I ain't gonna give y'all too much on that. That's another podcast, but it's great lessons in it. But I watched my baby cry today, y'all. I watched my baby girl cry today, and I had to, she's 18, right? She's 18, so, you know, I couldn't just pick her up like I would when she was a little baby and put her on my shoulder and rub her hair and she'd be all right. No. I had to understand who she's becoming as a woman, right? And your daughters change over time. What you knew about them at 8, 9, and 10 is not the same girl they are at 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, right? She's going to college, both of them. And I'm telling you, man, as a dad now with 2 daughters going to college, man, I think a lot. Like, yo, did I give them everything I needed to give them? Did I prepare them for the show, the game that's going to be run out here, right? By society, not just boys, society. See, you can protect your daughter from boys. She gonna like boys and she gonna get her heart broken, all that. But it's a whole nother part. We gotta protect our daughters from society and then the societal pressures of being a young girl and in this society, going off to college. That old TV show used to come on, A Different World. College is truly a different world. It's not the real world, but it's not a fake world. Well, what world is it? It's a different world. It's a world in between. But the question is, did I give her enough to know what to do? Did I give her enough to be brave? Did I give her enough to stand up for herself? See, these are all the questions I ask myself as I'm watching my girls go off to college. I didn't ask these same questions when my son went off, because I spent a lot of time, because he's my only son, my firstborn, their big brother. I spent a lot of time, and as men, sometimes we not worried about certain stuff that will happen with our daughters. And so, but I'm proud of myself today, y'all. And I want to say this to you guys out there. I'm proud of you. All you guys out there, you doing good, man. You're doing good, bro. It's no rule book that came out with your kids, man. It's no rule book that shot out. I had triplet daughters. Some of y'all know that been down with me since the beginning of me podcasting. I lost the oldest of the triplets. Lydia, her name was Lydia, right? But I you know what I mean? I learned a lot. I'm proud of myself, and I want to say I'm proud of y'all, man. I got these daughters. I got my boy. I got my baby girl. She's 7. Man, this is our life right here. This is our legacy. What we put in them is what they carry on. What we put in them is all we got, man. So be proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. No rule book came out with your babies, man. When them triplets came out, it was no rule book. When my son came out, it was no rule book. When my youngest baby girl came, no rule book. It would be easy if a book came out behind them with their name on it, and this is how you be a dad to this kid. Because you can be a dad when you got more than one kid. You can be a super dad to this one, but you got to learn every one of them individually. You got to learn them because they're all different. And even though they're twins, they still two different people, man. Two different little young women that I got to learn. So invest in that. As we go get this money to pay the bills, as we go get this money to pay for private track and all this stuff, as you go get the money to pay for gymnastics and whatever else your children are doing. And whatever bills we got to pay to keep them safe in the house and all the stuff that comes with them. The thing they're going to remember most. They're going to remember most how much you were there for those certain moments. They'll never remember the light bill or the gas bill or the water bill. They'll never remember that, and neither will you. But when they get older and they're in their adulthood, you know what they're going to remember? My dad got to know me. My dad got to know me. Get to know your kids. Well, y'all, I'm out of here. This is a Christian Winners Podcast. Thanks for hanging out with me, man. I don't mean to cut it short, but I figure I'd talk to y'all on my ride. But yeah, get to know your kids. Get to know your kids. Get to know your kids. Because some bum of a man is going to try to get to know your daughters. Some crash out woman is going to try to get to know your sons, right? So everything out here is trying to analyze our kids and most times take something away from them. You get to know your kids so you know how to talk to them, love them, and minister to their heart when they're suffering. Amen. It's the Christian Winners Podcast. Yesterday was history. Tomorrow's a mystery. All you got is right now. My name is Christian. I got a story to tell. Hit that subscribe button. Peace.